Splatoon 3 is a modern classic and the most exciting game by Nintendo since, well, Mario. Splatoon is the most recent intellectual property from Nintendo since Pikmin, and the first new character game from them in over 20 years. But it's also one of the best things they've done ever. Everything about the game sparks joy, to use Japanese organisation terminology. Splatoon is an online team shooter, and the best thing about it is the turf war mode, wherein 2 teams of 4 fight it out against one another for control of the stage. Lay down ink with your weapon of choice as a cool kid, and then transform into a slick squid to speedily swim through it, climb walls, or hide in wait to ambush opponents. When the 3-minute timer is up, the team with the most ground covered in their colour ink wins. It's such a simple concept, but more importantly, it's accessible and fun. Unlike most other competitive online multiplayer shooting games, the focus isn't about getting kills, but about painting the floor and controlling space. Yes, splatting your opponents is helpful and will give your team an advantage in battle, but you don't have to be a ninja at no-scoping noobs in order to make a worthwhile contribution to your team. Because Splatoon so masterfully hits that sweet spot of being simple enough for beginners to pick up and start spraying ink straight away, while also offering the depth and strategy of high-level play to veterans who crave more of a challenge. Splatoon is great in that it rewards different playstyles, even non-aggressive ones. So often a battle's won because some diligent paint roller user was able to tip the balance in their team's favour by quietly covering every inch of the home turf, while the rest of the competitors fought it out for dominance in the middle of the map. But really, the best thing about Splatoon is just how dang good it feels to play. Spreading ink around is just so much fun. Lob it, fling it, roll it, flick it, slosh it, splat it, however you do it, it all just feels really amazing. Doing so tickles a part of your brain, the part that really likes covering stuff with paint. It's just pure Nintendo gameplay action that feels so pleasurable, and just doing it idly in the lobby while waiting for a match is almost relaxing. Even just having to squeeze the shoulder buttons to begin the game feels good. That's because the game was built upon a new function and structure and a strong focus on gameplay. It started life as a primitive looking shooter game between cubes, regular tofu versus sesame tofu. The core gameplay was so strong that Nintendo almost stuck with the tofu, but the visual design eventually changed to rabbits and then finally squid kids when they realised that tofu would be harder to sell to people. Speaking of which, the best thing about Splatoon is the visual design. There are many visual themes in this game and they all just blend so seamlessly together. You've got the rock and roll, skating, street style vibe of the playable Inkling boy and girl characters, which ties into the rebellious act of throwing paint on the ground and up the walls. Then you've got the marine life nautical theme, which ties into the swimming squid and octopus forms. Then you've got all things paint and ink related combined with a military theme. Because the aim is essentially a paint fight, you've got weaponized buckets, automatic super soaker paint sprayers, sprinkler shields, giant rollers for painting large areas and squishing unaware opponents. This is a paint-flinging squeegee sword called a splatana. Genius. And all these themes run right through the game from the world. But the best thing about Splatoon is how vibrant and colourful and fun everything is to look at. The colours of the ink just look amazing. That coupled with how much fun it is to actually throw the ink around is a winning combination. The amount of people I know who've actually started playing the game because they've seen me playing it, let me tell you. Come on. Don't know that many people. I also love how each title in the series has its own dual colour scheme and how those colours are echoed in the colours of the game's mascots. Except when they got to Splatoon 3, it feels like they wanted to have an emphasis on the number 3. So they introduced tricolour battles, 3-way Splatfests, and 3 new mascot characters. But maybe they thought 3 colours might be a bit much for the key artwork and the covers and the marketing materials, not to mention how it breaks the trend of the series' dual colour scheme. So what did they do? Kept the 2 primary colours, but added a neutral grey. But then what kind of mascot character can you have that's grey? Big Manta Ray. Big Man. Big Manta. Big Man. Oh, I just got that. Genius. The Splatfests are the best thing about Splatoon. Splatfests are special events where Inklings battle it out in intense competition to settle important questions, like what's best, Mac or PC, PlayStation or Xbox, East Coast or West Coast. Splatfest battles are serious and the competition is fierce. You'll spend the entire weekend spraying your chosen team's ink around and losing 100 games in a row, but by my chode will you love every minute of it. Because the best thing about Splatfests is how much of an event they are. Nintendo does such a wonderful job in making them feel special so that you really feel like you're at a concert or festival. You feel a real sense of occasion. And the music's great too, Because that's the other best thing about Splatoon. The music absolutely slams. So crunchy, you guys. And as with every other aspect of the game, a lot of work has been put into the Sonic language, so it perfectly accentuates the chaotic world of Splatlandia. It's great for getting you hyped up to splat some fools. And I haven't even mentioned some of the best things about Splatoon yet, like the marvellous single-player campaign with its rich world and deep lore, or the co-op survival mode, Salmon Run, where you and 3 friends fight off waves of evil salmonids, or how you can unwind between battles by decorating your locker, or drawing inappropriate images of waifus and furries, and then posting them online for everyone to see, in a game that's rated 7 years and up. But really the best thing about Splatoon is the stable online component.